Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about adding a blink to our 3/4 turn. Now you'll notice up here on the timeline that I have my character where it's standing in one spot and they do the squash and stretch and then they look toward the viewer. So we have that happening right there. What I want to do now is I'm going to lock this layer and I'm going to add a new layer on top of this one. And then for this new layer I'm going to add on there, let me go ahead and hit a new layer on there. For that new one I'm going to put up there, I'm going to go ahead and I want it to happen when the character is looking directly at the viewer. So I notice I've got my body's in a profile, but the head is on a 3/4 angle. Okay, that's great. I want to go ahead and have that. So what I'm going to do is once I've sort of gone into that head turn, right about here, I'm going to go, what is it, about 10 frames or so in, I'm going to go ahead, right click and insert a blank keyframe. I may put a stop in there. Now I'm going to do a couple of those right now. So I'm going to go ahead and set those up. Insert blank keyframe, and I'm going to do a couple of them because I'm going to need a couple of those to go ahead and set up my, my blink itself. All right, I may have to add some more in, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do first off is for the first frame right here, that's on this one, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on my character. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use the paintbrush, and I'm going to use the color of the background of the character. In this case, it's white. Yours might be yellow or green or pink or flesh tone, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and pick on the fill here and select the white fill. And I've got my paintbrush here. And what I can do is literally just go right over this. I just noticed that it's kind of small. Let me Command Z here. I'm going to go ahead and set my brush size over here on the right. Make my brush a little bit bigger. There, see my brush is getting bigger? Maybe not too big. Right about there looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead here. And how do I like that? Looks like too much. I'm going to go Command Z there a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that right about there. That looks pretty good. And then I'll do this one. There we are. So I got that right there. So I go back and forth. There it is going down. Look at that. Boop, boop, going down there for that blink. Okay. Now if I had that one, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the next one. So for the next one here, I'm going to go to the next keyframe right here. Back to that paintbrush again. And this time I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go down a little further, go about 3/4 of the way down. Just leave a little bit of the white of the eye. Bring that in. All right. A little right there. And I don't like that one so much. Let me go back and take that one back. It's okay to Command Z that if you don't like it. There we go. Got a blink coming down there with that eye. Looks pretty good. And on that last one now, that last one bringing the eye all the way down. Go back in with that white. I've got my last, that keyframe there. And I'm going to go ahead now. This time as I paint it, I'm going to take this right down to there. See that? And I'm going to take that right down to there and let's leave the bottom part of that eye right there. I'm going to leave the bottom part of that eye. Okay. So now we have this and we have the blink coming down. Okay. Now what we can do, just to make it a little simpler there, is that we have got forward, 2, and 3. See that? All 3 keyframes there. Now let's go back to the first one here. I like this here. What I want to do is I want to add a little bit of a line to show that the upper eyelid is coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select my black outline, my black stroke. There's my black paintbrush, and I'm going to take that paintbrush and make it very, very small. Take it back to 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start a line that sort of starts out here and comes in and over and up. I'm not too happy about that one. Let's try that one again. That's a pretty good one. I like that one. He was kind of ticked off, doesn't he? We'll go to the next one. Same thing again. I'm going to click off to the side to deselect. Then I'm going to go back into my paintbrush and I can go ahead and draw that line again. There's one. There's 2. He looks sort of zombie-ish now, doesn't he? Right there. Boom. And then I go to the last one, and that last one there, the eyelid's all the way down. So I almost don't even need that line anymore because that almost becomes part of the edge of the bottom of the eye. So I have basically the eye going up and down and up. Now I need to go back in reverse now. So I've got the eye going down, kind of a 1, 2, 3 going down. Now I go ahead and reverse that a little bit. So now I have the eye going back up again. So I'm going to go to where the eyeball is sort of about halfway down there. And I'm going to go ahead and right click and copy that frame. Then I'm going to go back over to here, right click, and I'm going to paste that frame. So now it looks like Boom. Now that eyeball is coming and starting to come back up again. But what I'm going to do in this next one here is I'm going to pop that eye all the way, see that right there? It pops all the way open. See that? Boom. Now I need to go ahead and put this eye with the eyeball open all the way down below, but I need to show that because remember the eye open all the way is down below. So all I have to do is with this eyelid right here, I need to just basically stop it from moving. So I'm going to right click and insert a blank keyframe and it creates a blank spot there. So now we have basically the eyes are a quarter of the way down and 2/3 of the way down, and then halfway, and then back up again. Now, depending upon how you like your blink, you can do this one of two ways. So I can go ahead here. Let me go ahead and set up a little bit of a play bracket here and set up a little repeat area here. So let's go ahead and move this over here. Let me remove my brackets over and have you play this out. Now, go ahead here, and if I play this on there, those eyelids are popping up and down and up and down and up and down, right? We got that in there, which is okay, right? So we're kind of playing back and forth between there. But some folks like to basically, on the rule of thumb is when you drop the eyelids down, is that you'll notice that right now they're going slower on the close and faster on the up. See if I turn that off and just play it regular. And go to Control, make sure Loop Playback is selected, it is, and just hit play. Now watch for it. See that? He turns aside, looks back, and looks at us and he blinks. Now that blink happens awfully quickly, doesn't it? So I probably want to lengthen that out a little bit. So I'm going to go right here, or up on this lane right here, and I'm going to push this back a little bit. So I'm going to hit F5 and just extend that frame out. So that blink happens in the middle of this spot. Then I'm going to pull this end part back so we don't have that cut off. So I'm going to hold the Shift and then F5 key, bring that up, it links up there. Now let's hit play. There we go. So that blink happens in there. Okay. So I like that blink where it's at. I'm going to select that keyframe and go Command G to lock it. This one, Command G. Click the next keyframe, Command G. Next one, Command G. There we go. I kind of lock that in. And that last one there, let's certainly do the eyes opened up here all the way. Don't need that one in there. And we go ahead and double click on that. And Shift F5 to get rid of that one. I don't need that. All right, so again, I've got my eyes going down, down, closed, back up again, and then nothing, because I've got my eyes open here, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and play that again. Right, so I've kind of got that in there, which is kind of nice. So what I'm going to do now is, let's go ahead here, and I'm going to add a little space there. Let's go F5. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the eyelids in reverse a little bit. What I'm going to do is I've got my eyelid certainly here, which is about halfway down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste that one and put it over down on this side. Watch this. I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy that. Then I go down over here, right click, and then I'm going to paste it here. Okay, give it a second, it appears, and there we are. So we kind of have that eye open, and then we start to close. Notice on this we're only about halfway there here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take the one where we're all the way closed. This one. So I'm going to skip this one where it's 2/3. I'm going to grab this one, right click and copy, and then I'm going to paste the frame and give that a second. So the eyes are closed all the way. Now, so I have half, half, and now what I'm going to do is exact opposite. Now I'm going to go back in and open the eyes up with the eyes shutting. They're shutting quickly because they're going from half to closed, but now they're going to open slowly. And so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go back in to reopen them slowly. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to grab the one which was 3/4 of the way, right click, copy frame, paste frame. And then I want the one where we are 2/3 of the way, or 1/3, excuse me. Copy frame and paste frame. And the last part there is going to be starting where the eyes are open. So what's happening is that one is we're basically closing slowly with a 1, 2, closed, and then we're fast open with just a pop and open. And the other one, we're going fast on the close. 1, 2, closed, and then 3 was it basically 2/3, third, and then open up again. So let's play with that a little bit on the speed here. Let's play. Blink, 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 it changes the rhythm. So the blink is still happening, but it changes the speed. But it doesn't quite look like the eyes are closed long enough. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop on the keyframe where the eye is closed all the way, and I'm going to F5 that twice. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one over here where the eyelid is closed. Okay, and I think this bottom one here, I think let's extend this one out so we can see that eyelid blink a little bit more before we turn back. All right, let's go ahead and play it. You see how that we have a little more pause now when we're doing that blink. So when the eye closes, it sort of sticks on that moment a little bit more. So let's try that again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this one up out into 2. So I'm going to go 2, right? This one I'm going to go 2. This one I'm going to add a third one 2, and this one I'm going to do 2. So let's check out the speed of the blinks and see how that changes. So these are all in 2s and 3s, and these are all basically 1, 3, 3. It's going to be 1, 3, and 2, and 1, 1. See that speed difference? And that's okay. So we've gone ahead and changed that up a little bit. We've changed that distance. Let me add this longer. There we go, and play that. So there you have it. You have the blink itself. You can change the duration of the blink. You can change the order of the blink to have it longer or shorter. Typically, we tend to go quick on the down and slow on the up, meaning quick on the down, meaning just showing the eye halfway and then showing it all the way closed, and then slow on the up, where we show just a 2/3 of the way open, a 1/3 of the way open, and then all the way open, like we've done here. So you have that option to see the difference. And by also changing the length of time in which those frames stay on, well, you certainly can play with how long that changes on there also. So there you go, folks. Go ahead and let's make that happen yourselves.